Okay, just unboxing the SEATSMITH walnut chair. Got some nice fuzzy feet. We've got the nice maple tapered shims, so they'll go into the slots of the legs very nicely. Got the four legs here. Very nice walnut, nice shims, nice big shoulders on here, so that'll be the stop for the bottom of the seat. And the legs are tapered, obviously, so it makes it nice and easy to know which leg goes where, because they'll all have to just be at a flat angle. Four of those. We've got the six back braces. Got the four thin ones and then two large arms for the back of the seat. Again, these have nice shoulders on them, so they'll sit at the right angle and you'll know exactly where to stop them. The top two, you've got the shoulders on there, so you know where this seat crest rail should stop, so that's really nice. Got the crest rail here. Nice seat holes. Again, you got your shoulders on the inside there, so you know exactly the height that this should be at, which is great. And then we have the seat made out of some really nice walnuts. It's quite thick. This is just a little less than 2 inches. Has a nice seat, so this kind of sits lower, gives a little bit of contour. Again, big shoulders inside the holes, and then the bottom has the large holes with the tapers, and they're angled, so you know exactly where the legs should be, and as long as you pick the right rotation where they should sit, they'll slide right in, and the shoulder stops will let you know exactly how deep the leg should be into the seat. So this is great. This is a full package. Gonna start putting this together. So the very first thing I like to do is I like to sand everything. This is actually, the pieces are in really nice condition, so I don't think it'll take very much sanding. Probably just hit this with 220. I like to always sand all the parts beforehand. Makes it easier to get in and around the seat, so it's hard to sand with a big sander up near where the leg meets the seat and stuff like that. So I like to sand stuff first, so I'll do that. And I might actually give a little bit of contour to the front of the seat. I'm gonna see, I might just put some little divots here like I do in my rocking chairs, just to where your thighs will roll over. So I'm gonna think about doing that. Okay, I've decided that I'm gonna put that little bit of relief in the front of the seat for your thighs to roll over. So what I want to do first, I want to mark this on the chair. What I used for the curve was actually the crest rail. So what I did is I marked the very center of the chair, and then I marked 1 1/4 inch from this edge. And I gave 2 marks on each side. So again, center, and then 1 1/4 in. I take the crest rail, I put the corner on the mark, and then I just have it touch the front of the seat over in the middle. So I'll try to show that here. So I have the 1 1/4 inch mark on the edge, and then I have the center. And what I do is I put the crest rail on the one edge at the back there, and then in the center right there. And I just trace that arc, okay? And you can make it whatever you want. I just thought it was a nice shape and it was consistent, and you have it in the wood chair package. So it's everything you need. I'll cut this out on the bandsaw and then give it a sand and just make sure everything looks nice and even and level. Sand everything to 220. go around to each leg, put the glue on, tap these in with a hammer, make sure they're in all the way, and then I'm gonna flip it over, put glue on the shims, and pound them in. Okay, so an important test at this point is making sure that all the legs are touching this nice flat surface, and they are. So it's not wobbling when I give it a little shake. Okay, so that's good. That means that all the legs are in as far as they need to be. Also checking up here to make sure the legs are sticking out the same amount everywhere. Looks really good. Nothing abnormal here. And again, the wobble test, all the legs are touching, which is really good. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my shims glued and pounded into the slots here. All right, so this is all looking really good. They went in very nicely. And now I'm gonna wait for this stuff to dry, and eventually we'll be grinding this down to the top of the surface of the chair. But for now, we'll just wait for this to dry, and then we'll work on the back braces and the crest rail. Okay, so I'm at the point now where I'm gonna put these arms of the back rest in. Again, they have really nice big shoulders, so my plan is gonna be to cover this in glue, get lots of nice glue down in these holes. Try not to get too much glue on these edges because it'll be hard to sand it out. But my goal is gonna be to use my mallet to make sure they're pounded in really nice, and the wide shoulders should make sure they're straight and they're at the right angle. These are perfectly round, so that it doesn't matter which way they go. You just have to make sure they're in all the way. Okay, that's in there nice and solid. Okay, looks really good. Do the other one. Again, I want to cover all the surfaces, but I don't want glue pooling at the bottom. And you can definitely feel when that goes in. And these joints are so nice and tight from the CNC that I know it's in the right position. Okay, my next step is I'm gonna put these little spindles in the back. So I'm gonna put glue in the bottom, pound them in, and then I'm gonna put some glue in the holes of the crest rail and the tops of all the spindles and mount the crest rail. So again, this is an important part where you don't want too much glue on these spindles because the glue is gonna push up and out, and it's gonna be really hard to sand around there. So I like to get most of the glue actually in the hole itself. And then I'm actually even just gonna wipe off a tiny bit of this just so it's on there but not pooling up. Okay, so I've just moved onto the floor here because it'll be a little bit easier to work at this height. I'm just gonna put some glue on the tips of the spindles. Okay, so I have lots of glue on, and this is gonna be probably the trickiest part of this whole build, is gonna be actually getting this on, because you have to get all the holes lined up with the spindles simultaneously. So you just have to take your time, line them up. Okay, I've got the crest rail on. I checked my gaps to make sure everything is looking good. I've got it clamped down, so I've got the crest rail clamped down to the seat to make sure that the crest rail is being pushed downward. It can be tough. If you got an extra set of hands, it's really helpful to just line up the spindle and then kind of tamp down the crest rail with the mallet. But I did it on my own. It wasn't too bad. So I'm gonna wait for this to set up, and then I'll clean up the glue just around the base of these spindles, and then I'm gonna work on the seat. Okay, I'm just getting ready to oil this chair right now. I'm going to use my Bloof mix, which is thirds of boiled linseed oil, tongue oil, and General Finishes Armor Seal. So I'm going to put on my very first coat, let it sit, and then wipe it off so it's perfectly dry. All right, I'm just taking a look at the chair I just put together from SEATSMITH. These are made by Woodcash here in Calgary. This is a walnut version. I think this is a really interesting idea. A lot of people make tables, but chairs are very difficult. If I make a chair, it takes me 30 to 40 hours. I need plans, I need a lot of shaping, I have to cut a lot of parts out on the bandsaw. It's a lot of work. This chair comes ready to go in the box. All the parts are ready. I spent about 45 minutes sanding, and then I spent about a half an hour putting the chair together. I spent about another 20 minutes to a half an hour doing some finish sanding, and then I oiled it, and here we are. And I've got a chair that's ready to go. So I think for a person who wants to build a table and chair set and have, a lot to do with the creation of the chairs, this is really great. As far as I know, they offer cherry and padauk and walnuts and maple, and I think they're going to be offering some other woods. All of them are under $500 for a chair. So if you're in the market to put together a table and chair set for your home, this is really great. This is a really neat option. So I'm really happy with the way it went together. I'm really happy with the way it looks. I think the quality is there. The build is really strong. Overall, it's just really very interesting idea. So check them out, SEATSMITH and Woodcash here in Calgary, Alberta. Thanks for watching.